In our very first lesson, we worked with a viewfinder. And this is the viewfinder we did. And it corresponds exactly to the shape of this piece of printer paper. But you're not always going to be working with printer paper. Sometimes you'll be working with a sketchbook, sometimes with a giant drawing pad. And what you see here is this viewfinder will not work with this sketchbook because it's too tall. The sketchbook is. What you do when that happens, and you need a viewfinder, just go to the back page, get it all out, and just like we did the first time, we make our diagonal lines. They have to be just perfect. So, all right. Then, like we did the last time, you measure up 1 inch here along this line, 1 inch on this line, and everywhere those dots cross the line, you draw another line. And those are our bending lines. Then, again, we cut here, 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 and here. And just like we did in the very first lesson, we bend those triangles back. And in this case, we bent these edges in to make it a little stiffer. This paper will also do that, to make it a little bit stiffer. So that's what you do. And you, for each one of your sketchbooks, you can make a viewfinder, keep it in the back of your sketchbook, and it will always be there. Now, sometimes you're going to be working with really big things. So what I like to do is make an adjustable viewfinder. In this case, I have used my ruler to draw a perfect square corner here and here. Now I'm going to put there, there, and this is where you have to be kind of accurate because you don't want your lines to be terribly crooked. So cut along here. Here's our first corner. This paper is Bristol board and it can be very difficult to cut. Move that over there. There we go. There's our first corner. Now we're going to make our second corner. Okay, now, here's the part where you're going to need a little adult supervision. This is my X-Acto knife. I'm going to cut along here, not all the way to the end, just there. And it over, cut it along here. You don't have to press very hard. X-Acto knives work pretty well. You just bend and then tear. Just so gently tear it. Let's see, let's get a little bit more here. Okay, now we're going to do the other side. Again, not all the way to the end. Doesn't even have to be straight. Just has to be a bit of a slice. Turn it over. You can see the line. And I'm going to be slicing the other way. Like I said, adult supervision. My family doesn't generally trust me with knives, but they're not here right now. Okay. Just, come on, tear it gently. There we go. Anybody has a quilter in the family, they have these wonderful mats that you can put stuff on and cut without harming your table or anything like that. Okay, now this is what we do. Oops, let's be safe and put the cap back on the knife. You slide this in here, and you slide this one in here. And now, let's see, now you have an adjustable viewfinder, and you can make it little. You can make your slits bigger, longer. There we go. You can make it little, you can make it big, and like that. And then depending on the size of what you're drawing on or painting on, you can make this correspond to that size. Now, what happens with most artists is after a while they get pretty good at figuring out what they're going to be looking at in their viewfinder, so they don't even bother taking a viewfinder. And what I do now is I will look at what I'm going to draw. Might be a still life, might be a landscape. But what I do is I say, okay, am I doing a rectangle? Am I doing a square? Is it this direction? Is it that direction? But I just hold up my hands and I make the shape that I need. And I always have my viewfinder because I always have my hands. And that's Viewfinders.